The words are burned in history.
The Senate will convene as a court of impeachment. The chaplain will offer a prayer.
Opening statements aimed at taking down the president.
In many ways, the case you will consider in the coming days is about those two words, I do.
Now, secret meetings, mistrust, behind the scenes at the impeachment trial. Plus, the most scandalous woman in the nation, bracing for the day she'll go before the Senate.
You don't have to get into all the sordid details. We would handle this in a very dignified, judicious way.
And volunteering for children. How Monica is trying to clean up her image. He's the man who guaranteed death to Howard Stern. He can't hurt the king of all media now. See why. Who doesn't love Patch Adams on the big screen? But for these people, it's another story in real life.
He broke my heart.
Why some are so angry at Patch Adams. Inside Edition with Deborah Norville.
Hi, and thanks for joining us. Today, all of us have been witness to something no living American has ever seen, an impeachment trial against a president. Craig Rivera is in Washington covering a proceeding that 6 months ago, experts would have never predicted would happen. Craig?
Deborah, it's been an amazing day here in the nation's capital. Today, House prosecutors began delivering their case against President William Jefferson Clinton. For those who were there, it was a moment they will never forget.
We, the managers of the House, are here to set forth the evidence in support of 2 articles of impeachment against President William Jefferson Clinton.
Powerful words from Congressman Henry Hyde, acting as chief prosecutor.
With the simple words, I do, you have pledged to put aside personal bias and partisan interest and to do impartial justice.
An opening statement aimed at bringing down the president, delivered by Wisconsin Congressman James Sensenbrenner.
He must be held accountable through the only constitutional means the country has available, the difficult and painful process of impeachment.
They are 2 of the men entrusted with the job of prosecuting the president. But are they up to the task? Remember, while they are attorneys, like many of the House managers, they haven't practiced law for years. In fact, the last time Sensenbrenner appeared in court was in a divorce case in 1975. But some of the House managers do have extensive courtroom experience. In fact, back when Arkansas Representative Asa Hutchinson was a federal prosecutor, he tried the president's brother, Roger Clinton, on drug charges. Regardless, you can bet all of the men making the case against the president have been well coached.
This is the trial of their lives.
Former federal prosecutor Victoria Tunsing.
I know that they are preparing day and night to make this presentation.
And many senators have been preparing for their unusual role as jurors as well.
The Senate has decided to have some rules of decorum. That is, to be there for every single minute of the trial, not to talk on their cell phones, and to pay attention.
New Jersey Senator Robert Torricelli understands the impact of this day.
I actually did not want to walk in there at 1 o'clock when the gavel comes down and see the Senate as a courtroom for the first time. So I went this morning when there was no one in the chamber to see what it looked like and how it might feel.
And if you want to gauge just how unique this trial is, consider this. Reportedly, 3 GOP senators secretly met with Henry Hyde to discuss the calling of witnesses. Imagine a criminal trial where jurors and the prosecution huddled before the trial. Meanwhile, where is Monica Lewinsky? Well, one report says the former intern is cleaning up her image, devoting her time to charity. Reportedly, Lewinsky may be working with disadvantaged kids, possibly spending her time reading books to children.
Say something, Monica. Ironically, the trial begins exactly 1 year after Linda Tripp went undercover for Ken Starr, secretly taping Monica Lewinsky. Will she be asked to testify at the Senate? Steve Gendell on that possibility.
We haven't seen much of Monica Lewinsky these days. An occasional secret outing here and there. But you can be certain that as Lewinsky tries to go on with her life, she has one haunting thing on her mind, testifying before the Senate. Washingtonian Magazine's Chuck Conconi.
If Monica is called to testify on the floor of the United States Senate. It is going to be a frightening experience. Awesome. I mean, just think of the fact that there she is with 100 of the most powerful lawmakers in the world.
While some senators insist that they must hear from Lewinsky to decide the president's fate, many feel she's already given her testimony and that it should stand. One thing almost all senators agree on: Lewinsky's testimony must be handled with dignity. Nebraska Senator Chuck Hagel.
I mean, you don't have to get into all the sordid details and all the graphics of any episode. It could be handled, for example, like on page 24, paragraph 2, you said the following. Is that true or not true? We would handle this in a very dignified, judicious way.
They know if Monica comes on the floor and talks about sex, it would be like Hustler magazine. It would be a circus. It would make the O.J. trial look like a morning in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
If Lewinsky is forced to tell her tale, many wonder what kind of witness she'll really make. G.T. Dave was a high school friend of Lewinsky's. He's watched her endure the Clinton scandal, and he's certain that the former intern can handle the pressure of testifying before the nation.
She won't break under pressure, but she will, will feel the anxiety.
Now the Senate won't have to decide for sure if Lewinsky will testify until both sides have finished their arguments. But if it's up to conservative Republicans, she will take the stand.
They just want to continue to embarrass the President of the United States, and they truly want to try to force him out of office.
But according to Maine Senator Olympia Snowe, it's the evidence, not the Republicans, that will determine if witnesses are called.
It may be necessary, it may not be, and I don't think that that's something that I could predict at this point. I think it'd be prejudging the case.
Meanwhile, the weeks to come promise to be stressful for Lewinsky, with the expected release of her book, a scheduled interview with Barbara Walters, and possible testimony all in the future. But even those who know her have little sympathy.
I don't really feel sorry for Monica because I think that she got herself into this, and it just comes with the territory.
We'll continue to keep you posted on what happens. Howard Stern often makes people uncomfortable with his radio show, but he's had his own private hell being pursued by a stalker. Stacey Sweet reports.
Shock jock Howard Stern obviously loves attention. But not from this man. Stern has just made sure that Michael Carvin stays far away from him, locked behind bars. Carvin, a deranged stalker, had been sending Stern letters threatening his life. Now Carvin has been sentenced to 2.5 years in prison. Stern's stalker is a man who's stalked before. In the 70s, Carvin was accused of pointing a toy gun at then-presidential candidate Ronald Reagan. In 1976, President Gerald Ford became the focus of Carvin's fancy. Carvin spent 6 years behind bars for stalking Ford. Stern's troubles worsened last March when the shock jock began getting threatening cards and letters, including one reading, quote, "I will absolutely, without a doubt, kill you, and this is 100% guaranteed," end quote. Security expert Bill Stanton says stalkers are no laughing matter. Murdered actress Rebecca Schaefer will forever serve as a reminder of that.
I've had clients where the stalker feels that they are their #1 and only fan, and anything they do outside what they deem appropriate is a personal insult to them.
Stern, who always says what's on his mind, asked the judge in the case to throw the book at Carvin for his, quote, campaign of terror. Thanks to Stern's testimony, Carvin got twice the maximum jail time he was facing, and Stern can now breathe a sigh of relief.
Among other things, Carvin also threatened to kill Howard's wife, Allison.
Still to come on Inside Edition. Everybody loves this Patch Adams. But what about the real Patch Adams?
I was devastated.
What did Patch do that destroyed the faith of some people who believed in him? On NYPD Blue, being a wife just isn't enough. So actress Sharon Lawrence is leaving the hit show.
This is a real blow to NYPD Blue.
But she will return under one big condition. Legendary Countdown King Casey Kasem's wife, Jean, helping the world's most famous octuplets in a most amazing way.
1, 2, 4, 6, 8, great. Okay, place those over there.
You won't believe what she's planning to do at the airport. Inside Edition with Deborah Norville will be right back.
Airfares are falling again. It's Frontier's second annual Winter White Sale. Buy tickets by January 24th, fly by June 15th, and pile up savings to Frontier towns all across America. But call today. Sale seats are going fast.
This week at Just for Feet, every single piece of clothing is half price. The 50% off clothing sale. Warm-ups, caps, jackets, jerseys, snap pants, and fleece. Nothing's held back. 50% off throughout the store. Names like Reebok, Fila, Starter, Pella Pella, Logo Athletic, and more. All 50% off. Save on famous name warm-ups and all the team jackets you've been cheering for. And thousands of shoes on sale, too. The 50% off clothing sale. This week at Just for Feet, where the 13th pair is free.
Jack just got promoted. Again.
Again?
My reward.
Ooh, very nice. Very, very nice. How are the kids?
They're good. Thank you. They're getting big. Getting big. But they're great. Did I mention Jack got promoted? Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You all right? Great. I'm just not happy.
For many of us, something is missing from our lives. Now there's a book that can help us all. Power for Living. Yours free by calling this toll-free number. It provides real answers to real problems by leading you toward a personal relationship with God. No obligation and no one will call. Call now for your free copy of Power for Living.
Thanks, Vikings, for making this a season to remember. Keep watching WCCO 4 News and catch the Vikings spirit all the way to the Super Bowl.
It's a heartwarming film that families enjoyed together over the holidays. The story of Patch Adams, the renegade doctor who didn't always follow the rules, but always tried to help his patients. Steve Gendel tells us the real story of the movie may have warmed a controversy as well as hearts.
Hey, let's get ready to party! For millions of moviegoers, the lovable Patch Adams has been the cure for wintertime blues.
My name is Patch Adams.
But for some, the real Dr. Patch Adams and his followers have made his critics sick to their stomachs, and you'll be surprised to hear why.
Everybody knows that they're not treating patients, you know, which seems kind of strange.
He broke my heart. I wanted to share in the vision.
It's a circus of love. For the movie is the nursery school version of what I'm talking about.
The real Patch Adams and the movie based on his life have led many to believe that this last of the hippies is building the Gesundheit Hospital, a free hospital in rural West Virginia. The end credits say construction of the Gesundheit Hospital is currently underway. The back cover of Patch's autobiography, which is the basis for the movie, says Dr. Adams' royalties will be used to fund the Gesundheit Institute, a 40-bed free hospital in West Virginia. But now some are asking, where is the hospital?
I was devastated.
Susan Caffancelli is a psychotherapist and West Virginia television personality and healthcare activist who says she visited the Gesundheit Institute in Hillsborough, West Virginia 7 times. Because much of that area is poor, she was hoping to find the free health care Patch promised for the community.
I had such hopes of there being medicine freely delivered here.
But there is no hospital on the grounds of the Gesundheit Institute. What do you say to the people in West Virginia who look up and say, where is the hospital?
Forget whether or not it's built in West Virginia. If I just showed you a tiny little stack of the letters just that we've gotten from the movie. So, I mean, we're affecting healthcare delivery all over the world by not even having a hospital yet.
Some of the people in West Virginia, though, they were looking for a place to give them the free medical care, and they don't see
How
it.
disappointed do you think I am? Do you understand? I've worked 60 to 100 hours a week for 28 years trying to get help to build the only model to address healthcare delivery, and it's taken a movie to do it?
Over the past 3 decades, since Adams left the Medical College of Virginia, with a bedside manner of clowning to comfort patients, Patch says he's managed to raise only $3 million in donations for his dream hospital, where patients and doctors would live together. Now, he feels Hollywood has made his fundraising easier.
Because in America, intelligence doesn't sell, fame sells.
But where does your donation go? What is the Gesundheit Institute?
It's a 1 or 2 week work camp experience for people who are inspired by dreams, who are inspired by Patch.
Gesundheit is not a healthcare facility. When we went there earlier this week, we discovered a few ramshackle living quarters, one under construction.
Okay.
The grounds are something like a commune, dedicated to curing the soul with laughter. Its members share Patch Adams' love of clowning. The managers of Patch Adams' Place, Kathy Blomquist and John Lukes, have not welcomed the confusion caused by the movie's end credits.
This was in August. We started working on what was being said at the end so that it would not misinform and mislead. But it is what it is.
But the people who may be the most confused are the West Virginians who live near Gesundheit.
Because they had a lot of plans and a lot of ideas, but they weren't actually doing something.
I'm first a political activist. I'm second a clown. I'm third a doctor. We're not here just to help the local people in West Virginia. Yes, we could have Quonset huts and we'd be right there. And that helps them, but we're a political act to help healthcare delivery.
And while moviegoers get caught up in the idealism of the Patch Adams film, the critics continue to have their doubts.
The vision is noble. It's not reasonable.
Universal Studios, which produced the movie, donated $500,000 to fund the Gesundheit organization. No comment from the studio, however, on that last credit in the movie.
Still to come on Inside Edition. Why is sexy Sharon Lawrence following Jimmy Smits out of the revolving door at NYPD Blue? Plus, 7 little reasons that Gene Kasem is on a mission. Production assistance for Inside Edition provided by...
My dentist told me about this new gum.
It's in the toothpaste aisle.
New Arm & Hammer Dental Care Gum with baking soda. Reduces unsightly plaque up to 25%. Dental Care Gum.
Toothpaste aisle. Stay tuned. There's more Inside Edition to come. 2 good friends discover they share the same tiny photo of a newborn baby girl. Amazing coincidence? Much more than that. Coming to Inside Edition.
You know Minnesota winters can be rough. Every year, hundreds of area motorists get stranded in winter storms. To be prepared, here are some things the Red Cross recommends you keep in your vehicle whenever you drive this winter. A red banner will help rescuers find your vehicle. Candles and matches. You can melt snow for drinking water. Also store energy foods like raisins or food bars. Be sure to have a first aid kit, booster cables, and blankets too.
Winter safety tips are brought to you by AT&T. Dwayne McFeeters applied for a home equity loan. 2.5 weeks later, he got a check. What can we do for you?
The Money Store. 1-800-LOAN-YES.
It's free. The Diversity Job Fair at the Minneapolis Convention Center, Monday, January 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. You'll find over 60 hiring companies, open to the entire community.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the New York Times.
Now you can enjoy Sunday even more by getting the New York Times delivered to your home every weekend. And if you call now, you'll save 50% off the regular home delivery price. Then wake up to the things you care about most. What do you think about first thing Sunday morning?
First thing, relaxing with my coffee and the Sunday New York Times. It's what Sundays were made for.
First thing, I think about my family in America and in my homeland.
For just $2.50 a week for 8 weeks, you get a world of ideas, insight, and discovery you won't find anywhere else.
I just love the arts, and nothing satisfies my passion like the Sunday Times.
Call now, 1-800-357-4812.
Hi, I'd like to start getting home delivery of the New York Times.
First thing, my New York Times. Another day to learn something new.
The New York Times. Call today.
I'm Cindy Hilger. It's the weekend for Governor Jesse Ventura's inaugural bash. What to expect from Minnesota's Party of the Year on WCCO this morning.
What makes CBS America's most watched network? We've got TV's funniest comedy.
Some people would consider Canoe Ride romantic.
Guess you didn't see Deliverance.
Outstanding dramas.
You asked for an angel.
The most talked about news shows. The #1 movie night on television. The best news show ever. And the greatest TV viewer of all time. for making CBS America's most watched network.
More changes for another hit TV show. Just weeks after Jimmy Smits moved on from NYPD Blue, it looks like another of the program's stalwarts is signing off. Stacey Sweet has details.
First Jimmy Smits, now Sharon Lawrence.
I don't want you barging in here and telling me what I can and can't do.
The feisty actress who plays Assistant DA Sylvia Costas on NYPD Blue has reached her own verdict. She's reportedly decided to leave the show.
This is a real blow to NYPD Blue. I mean, come on, this isn't the caveman era. You need a strong female character.
Lawrence, who bowed out once before, came back this season, brought back to smooth out the transition between Smits' departure and Rick Schroder's arrival.
Sharon Lawrence came back to NYPD Blue with a certain guarantee that her character was going to be expanded, that she was going to be an integral part of the show, and just the opposite happened.
Lawrence reportedly said that the show's writers made her a player in a, quote, disappointing, boring case. The actress also apparently felt her relationship with Detective Andy Sipowicz could have used a little more sizzle.
For Sharon Lawrence to really return to NYPD Blue, they have to give her another guarantee that the writers will give her a strong character.
With her 10-episode contract expired, only Lawrence knows for sure whether she said her final farewell to NYPD Blue.
But there is some good news for NYPD Blue. Rick Schroder's arrival has brought higher ratings among younger viewers, and it's put the show on the cover of the current TV Guide. Other things to tell you about: it could be just a matter of weeks before the 7 surviving Houston octuplets finally go home. And while progress continues for the record count of babies, someone who knows something about counting records is coming to their aid. Steve Noble explains.
We want to fill the plane and we want to deliver it. We need to make some more room in that shipping lane.
She is the wife of radio's countdown king, Casey Kasem. And in this warehouse, Jean Kasem is doing some counting down of her own.
We have some of the early pallets here, which are strollers, and we have items by, as you can see, the Tommy Tippy cups. We have bouncer seats, high chairs.
It's all part of an airlift of baby supplies for the parents of the surviving Texas octuplets, Ike and Encom Chukwu.
It's a congratulations, welcome to America.
After fertility treatments, Encom Chukwu gave birth to the world's first octuplets last December at Texas Children's Hospital in Houston. The 7 surviving babies remain in critical condition.
She's going to need a lot of help, and that's the American way, to pitch in and help people who've got a heavy load.
But it's also a more personal mission for Jean and Casey, who, with the help of fertility treatments, overcame years of heartbreak and now have an 8-year-old daughter, Liberty.
Liberty is my 9th pregnancy and the only one to go past 5.5 months. And so I always knew that I had a missing piece of the puzzle, and I knew that I couldn't buy it at Saks.
No date has been set for the departure of the airlift, but the babies could be leaving the hospital as early as next month. Leslie Chukwu is the baby's aunt.
They're doing okay. They're all off the respirators. Nikem has held several of them and been able to spend a lot of time with them, and they seem to be doing all right. They're strong little kids.
The Chukwu family has not spoken with the Kasems, but Leslie says the family needs all the help it can get.
We are just so incredibly thankful to Casey Kasem and his wife, and we just want to let them and everybody else know who has helped that we deeply appreciate it.
In the meantime, Jean Kasem's care package countdown will continue.
Coming up, Elizabeth Taylor out on a date. On today's Inside Track, this day in 1954, which Hollywood bombshell hit a home run with the legendary New York Yankee? The answer in a moment.
Production assistance for Inside Edition provided by...
With Monistat, you can cure a yeast infection with a soothing cream. Monistat 3 Cream. From the #1 doctor-recommended brand.
Stay tuned. There's more Inside Edition to come.
Here's a new twist on heat styling. Now, all you do to shape those curls and hold those waves will actually make your hair healthier. It's all thanks to heat-activated ThermaSilk Shape and Hold Spray. ThermaSilk's unique protein formula is turned on by heat to do more than protect. It actually improves your hair's condition, because nothing's more stylish than healthy hair. ThermaSilk. Where there's heat, there's healthy hair.
Keep it going. Okay, that's
enough.
Bayer can relieve joint inflammation and stiffness. Tylenol can't. And taken regularly, Bayer can help save your life. Ask your doctor. Bayer, powerful pain relief and so much more.
Sis, I snooped in your medicine cabinet. So? You switched to X-Lax. Yeah, Correctol works with an artificial chemical. X-Lax works with natural senna. Very effectively, too. You tried it. What a find. What a snoop.
Good morning, guaranteed. Behold the power of cheese.
So, what Hollywood bombshell hit a home run with the New York Yankee? It was this day in 1954 that Marilyn Monroe walked down the aisle with Joe DiMaggio. The marriage lasted only 9 months, but for years after her death, the baseball great had fresh flowers sent to Marilyn's grave.
Liz Taylor has a date. Find out with whom in 60 seconds.
It's time for the new year at GCO. GCO Carpet Outlet has the biggest flooring deals ever, and now is the time to save. Save on all carpet, remnants, and vinyl. Plus, with Color Tile Outlet in the same store, save on all ceramic tile, laminate, and hardwood. Everything's in stock and ready to go with no money down and no interest for 6 months. Come in today and get new flooring for the new year. Only at GCO Carpet Outlet and Color Tile Outlet. But you better hurry for best selection.
GCO Carpet Outlets, now with 8 locations to serve you.
Heard the buzz? My honey barbecue wings are back at KFC. Dripping with my zingy honey barbecue sauce. Now that's finger-licking good.
And for a limited time, you can get 20 of the Colonel's finger-licking good honey barbecue wings for just $5.99. Or 6 for $1.99.
And hurry! Honey, I'm home. At KFC, we do chicken right at a right good price, too.
When you watch the next Inside Edition...
We killed them all. I know we killed them all.
His lawyer says he's innocent. But imagine this. Picking up a hitchhiker who cops say just shot his entire family execution style.
He trusted me.
How it feels to drive around with an accused killer in your car.
I started to shake a little more.
Terror in the front seat. Plus, Liz Taylor out on a date with her boyfriend and her dog named...
Sugar!
Go inside the headlines with Deborah Norville. Watch the next Inside Edition.
And in case you didn't notice, her date was Academy Award winner Rod Steiger. The full story coming up next time. And that is Inside Edition for today. I'm Deborah Norville. Thank you for watching. We'll see you right here next time.